Can't believe I'm talking about this little shit again. So it has been a while since I did a tier list, and considering Sonic's going to be turning 30 this year, I thought I'd do something special for the occasion. And what's more special with Sonic the Hedgehog than its music? I mean, let's be perfectly honest here. The soundtrack is all Sonic really has going for it. Otherwise, he'd just be a blue mutant that just tried to kill a plumber once. The reason why I keep coming back to the series in general is just the wonderful music that this series keeps pumping up time and time again, even if the game in question is. So I decided to just rank the entire series soundtracks, and yeah, you kind of get the gist of it. And of course, we start with the one game that started it all, that started this entire wasteland. Now, I don't really care for Sonic 1. I think it's a shaky startup for the series, but the soundtrack's really not... It's really not amazing. I'm thinking of Green Hill Zone, Labyrinth, and Starlight Zone. Those are wonderful tracks, but otherwise, it's just either okay or not really all that memorable, like the boss music and the special stage music. It's just not a phenomenal soundtrack, but it's not bad either. Or when it gets good, it really does get good. So we'll put it in the B category. But Sonic 2, in every single way, it's just better. Like, I know for a sequel, that's just how things go. But this just seeps into the soundtrack as well, because god damn, I love Sonic 2's soundtrack. I don't know a single track that I do not like in this game. Like, no, I can't really think of anything. Like, if we're kind of seeping into like the Game Gear stuff, then maybe there's not really a lot of things going for it, but we're just talking Genesis Sonic 2, and yeah, no, it's just fantastic. It's a fantastic soundtrack. Now, this is where we start getting a little interesting, because there are going to be a couple of times where there are going to be different soundtracks for a different game, whether it's from a different region or from a different console. And Sonic CD has the Japanese/European soundtrack, as well as the United States soundtrack. And I will say right now, the Japanese soundtrack goes in S as well. I love the Japanese soundtrack. It's actually one of my favorite soundtracks in the entire series. It's just really good. Again, there's not a single track that I don't like in this game. It's like, a lot of it's just really, really good. And on contrast, the United States soundtrack it's not as good. I wouldn't even say it's really all that memorable. I think it's just kind of okay. The only thing the United States soundtrack has over the Japanese soundtrack is I kind of prefer Sonic Boom over Super Sonic Warrior. That may be a very hot take, but I think that's kind of the one thing we have over the Japanese soundtrack. Now, I honestly don't know why they separated Sonic 3 and Knuckles, because honestly, you might as well just judge them as a collective. And honestly, Sonic 3's soundtrack is... I don't know if I'd say it's better than Sonic 2, but I wouldn't say it's worse either. Now, the fact that Michael Jackson did a few songs in the soundtrack kind of elevates it a little bit. But that's not really the entire soundtrack. But just the rest of the soundtrack is still absolutely amazing, even if Michael Jackson didn't help out with the soundtrack at all. But even the beta versions that Jackson didn't do, those aren't too bad either. I would say they're not as good, but overall though, like Sonic 3 and Knuckles, again, S tier soundtracks. I don't know I don't know a single track that I don't like in this game. In some ways, I would say it may be better, it may be worse. I don't know. Either way, just S tier. Okay, Dr. Robotnik's Meet Me Machine. This is going to be interesting because I don't know a lot of tracks in this game. I love Puyo Puyo, but there's only like one Puyo Puyo song in this game. The rest is pretty original, and they're not amazing. They're not that great. Well, I can't say they're not that great, but they're not that memorable, I should say. But it's fine. It's all fine, I guess. Again, the two Puyo Puyo tracks that they do have in this game, great remixes. I don't even think they are remixes. I think they're just rips. Now, Knuckles Chaotix, like, this game's not very good. It's kind of a piece of shit, but it's kind of a fun piece of shit. It's kind of fun to just break in half, but nevertheless, the soundtrack is really good. I really do like this soundtrack. I don't remember a lot of it, honestly. I remember Seascape. I remember Door to Summer, of course. That's probably the most recognizable track in the game. But overall, it's just a great soundtrack. One, I probably wouldn't put it in S. I'd probably put it in A tier. It's like again, it's not the most memorable soundtrack, but it's still really good. It's still a lot. It's still a blast. And speaking of blast, actually, Sonic 3D Blast. Again, two different soundtracks, one for the Genesis and one for the Saturn. This is going to be interesting to rank because there are times where I kind of confuse the two because I don't really remember which tracks are from the Genesis and which ones are from the Saturn version, which doesn't really make any sense to anyone who knows about the Genesis and Saturn sound fonts because they're not the same thing. But what I do remember of each, though, I would have to say I prefer the Genesis versions because the Saturn versions are not that memorable. They're just kind of it's better music, but it's not like catchy, I would say. It's more atmospheric. Some songs do stand out. There's Diamond Dust and there is the final boss music. I think that's one big one. But overall, I just prefer the Genesis soundtrack. I would put the Genesis soundtrack in A, and I probably put the Saturn version's probably in B. I don't think it's bad. It's just not amazing, I would say. Okay, they separate a few games, but they just blend the. Do they blend? I think they just blended the entire Game Gear library in there, or maybe it's just Sonic. Is it just Sonic Drift? It's probably just Sonic Drift. I don't know. I'm just gonna bundle all the Game Gear stuff anyway because it's really all of it's just not that fantastic. Like I remember Bridge Zone and Jungle Zone in Sonic 1 Game Gear, but I don't remember really anything else. The Game Gear just doesn't have a great sound font, and it doesn't really make any like great music. So we'll put that in. Give Sonic Spinball a little bit of company, I guess. Sonic the Fighters, most underrated soundtrack in this franchise. I think this soundtrack is banging. I love this soundtrack. I really, really do. It's like, I would say, like Knuckles Chaotix, it's probably the best part of the game. The soundtrack is just really, really, really energetic, which is great for a fighting game, of course. And man, you really just need to listen to the soundtrack. It's really, really good. And I would say, do I put it in S? Do I put it in S tier? I don't know if I would put it in S tier. We'll put it in S tier for right now. I might change my mind later on, but we'll we'll put it in S tier for right now. Sonic R is weird. I like this soundtrack. It doesn't feel like Sonic music though. It's just it's kind of like it's kind of that typical 90s pop music. I don't really think fits Sonic as a character, but overall it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I really do like a lot of the music. But just because it just doesn't fit the series in my opinion. So I'll just put it in an A. Just put it in an A right there. Why the hell is Sonic Shuffle on here? Frick off with that. And now we get to my favorite soundtrack in the 3D Sonic games, which is interesting because this is like the first true Sonic game. This is Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure soundtrack. Sonic Adventure soundtrack is so damn good. I always flip flop between the Japanese version of Sonic CD as well as the Sonic Adventure soundtrack, because who doesn't know the soundtrack? Like you got Emerald Coast, you got Windy Valley, you got the pinball stage, the Knight's pinball stage, which is really good. You got Red Mountain and Speed Highway are two of my favorites. I absolutely love those. And then you had the lyrical songs like It Doesn't Matter, Believe in Myself, Unknown to Me, and it's not lyrical, but Gamma's theme. Gamma's theme is it's like a really emotional. It's a really emotional song, but it's very techno, and it's just really solid music. A lot of variety too. Like there's not a single song that sounds similar to another. There's just a lot of variety here, and just because of that, I'd have to put this one in S. We're kind of filling up the S tier, but really this series has a phenomenal track record when it comes to its music. So honestly, that we're gonna probably experience a lot of S tiers. Now, Sonic Adventure 2, this might be a little controversial. I don't like this soundtrack. I honestly don't like this soundtrack too much. Everything I said about Sonic Adventure 1 does not apply to Sonic Adventure 2. A lot of this soundtrack really bleeds together. It's a lot of rock, and it's a lot of it's just a lot of rock in most cases, and it just doesn't have that much of an identity in my opinion. Escape from the City is great. Metal Harbor's great. I love the Rouge and Knuckles music, even though a lot of those tend to blend in as well. And the lyrical music is not as good, with two exceptions. Eggman's theme is phenomenal. It's the one piece of music that I think of when I think of Eggman, and It Doesn't Matter. I think this game has the best version of It Doesn't Matter. Not to say that SA1's was bad, but really when I think of Sonic as a character, SA2's version it just comes to mind. And another thing I gotta say, I don't care too much about Live and Learn. I think it's one of Crush 40's weakest, honestly. I don't really care for the song that much. I don't get why people consider it one of the best. I just don't. I heavily prefer Open Your Hearts to Live and Learn, and especially a lot of other songs that we'll get to later. And just because of that, I gotta put it in the C tier. I'm sorry. That's probably gonna get a lot of people angry, but I don't know. I just don't care for it. I really don't. Okay, so I'm gonna bundle the Sonic Advance trilogy as a whole. Mostly because it's mostly the same. It's not the same. With Sonic Advance, I don't remember a lot of it. I do remember. I remember. What's that? It's Neo Green Hill, right? Yeah, it's Neo Green Hill. Neo Green Hill Secret Base is really good. And yeah, that's kind of it, honestly. I guess I remember the boss music too. I don't know. Do I put in the these kind of empty though? Do I make Sonic Advance? Yeah, it's kind of forgettable, but it's not bad music. I would definitely put it in D. But Sonic Advance 2, fantastic. A lot of fantastic music here. A couple of not great stuff, like the special music is what comes to mind. Techno bass isn't really all that phenomenal either. But overall, it has Music Plant, it has Hot Crater, Twinkle Snow, and yeah, it's got a lot of great stuff. And Sonic Advance 3 kind of falls in the middle. It's got a lot of good stuff. It's got Route 99. My favorite version of Green Hill's theme with Sunset Hill. It's really good. And Toy Kingdom's a little chaotic, but it's not too bad. And Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel's like really great. Stage is crap though. I really hate that stage. Actually, a lot of the stages I don't really care for in SA3, but yeah, kind of straight in the middle. Actually, can't go straight in the middle. I like more than I dislike, so we'll put that in B. Sonic Battle. I've never played Sonic Battle, and I don't really remember a lot of the music, so well, can't believe, no, we'll put it in the back burner for right now. Sonic Spinball Party. Again, I've never played it, but I do know a few songs in this one, and it's not bad. It's not generally memorable either. It's decent. It's decent enough. We'll put you in D. Okay, I honestly don't know why they put Mega Collection in here. Like, the only thing I remember is like the history. I really remember the history theme. It's a really good theme. It's really soothing, but I guess I have to base it on that, and it's decent. It's a decent song. I don't remember much past that, honestly. But with Sonic Heroes, it kind of has the variety similar to Sonic Advance, not Sonic Advance, Sonic Adventure, but it's not as strong in my opinion. It's got a lot of good stuff, especially in like the beginning. You got Seaside Hill, Metropolis Zone, and Bingo Highway. Those are really good. Past that, I don't remember much. It's a B tier, I think. It's not generally amazing, but it's decent enough. Okay, we're getting to another S tier. Sonic Rush. Sonic Rush's soundtrack is generally amazing. Jet Set Radio's composer, I don't quite remember the name off the top of my head, but he made the soundtrack, and damn, that's a lot of talent right there. Like, I don't know a single song I don't like. It's a very small soundtrack too. Like, they reuse a lot of the soundtrack in this game, but if it has to be a short soundtrack, I'm glad it's a really good soundtrack. So yeah. The Hedgy game, yeah, the game that a lot of people like, right? I used to like Shadow the Hedgehog, and the more I played it, it just became a lot less fun. I guess the fact that you have to play the game over and over again kind of taints your opinion on it. Even then, it's not really a great game. It's just kind of a slippery mess. But we're not talking about the game. We're talking about the soundtrack, and this is one of the most forgettable soundtracks I can ever think of. The only reason why it's not going in F, though, a couple of reasons actually. It does have a couple of good like instrumental tracks, like Sky Troops is one I can think of off the top of my head is really good. And I can remember the digital soundtracks, but the digital stage soundtracks, I mean. But honestly, the other stuff that I can think of, not for the right reasons, like Lost Impact is one that I can definitely think of off the top of my head, but it's not for the right reasons because you go through that game, you go through that stage, and you're spending over half an hour in that stage. So yeah, that song's going to burn into your brain. And same with Westopolis, you're playing that game you're playing that stage multiple times over and over and over again. Yeah, the soundtrack's just kind of repetitive, but it also burns into your brain because you're playing the stages. If not multiple times, long enough to where the song is going to melt into your brain. That said, there are a couple of songs that are legitimately great. All Hail Shadow, the hero theme, really good. Not the best version, as we'll get to later, but it's still good. I Am All of Me is Crush 40's weakest song. Absolutely weak. I do not like that song at all. It's not... I can't say it's a bad song, but it kind of irritates me a lot. But on the other side of the spectrum, it has Never Turn Back, which... top 3. I would say top 3 Crush 40 songs. I really, 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 really love that song. And I think that song in particular is the reason why it's not going in F. It just goes in E. Yeah, I would probably say that. I really do. That is the most I have ever said about Shadow the Hedgehog in my entire life. And I hope ever. So this took a while for me to figure out. I didn't know what this was, and apparently it is the Sonic Riders soundtrack CD cover. I didn't know it had a soundtrack CD. Honestly, because it's not that memorable of a soundtrack. I remember Egg Factory, I remember Sand Ruins, and the digital place, Digital Dimension, I think it's called. The ones I remember are fine. But overall, it's just kind of generic techno. They're trying to really bleed into the futuristic tone of the game, but because of that, it's just not amazing. We'll put it and see. It's not bad. Just kind of generic, futuristic music, I guess. Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, the infamous one. You guys know where I'm going with this. A lot of things about this game. It's not good, but the soundtrack kinda elevates it a little bit. I don't think people would think too strongly about this game if the soundtrack just wasn't all that memorable. Because you look at a lot of games with not so great soundtracks, but are not that. I don't know a lot of people that think about Shadow the Hedgehog as a game. But with Sonic 06, the fact that the soundtrack is so damn good kind of makes me think that they had a lot of promise for this game, but they couldn't get anything out of it. So the fact that a soundtrack can be that powerful for a game that's just another disaster, I have to rank it that high. It's a really good soundtrack, though. It's really, really good. I wouldn't say it's S tier, though. Would I say it's S tier? No. There's a few tracks I don't like in it. His World is fine. Either version, I don't care too much either way for that song. Elise's theme is so bad. I kind of don't like it. I really don't like that song. It's just kind of irritating a little bit. Kind of like the character herself. Best version of All Hail Shadow. Really good. Dreams of a Match Solution is just a beautiful song. I really love that song as well. And just the instrumental stuff, like, what was it called? Wave Ocean, I think it was. That's really good. Crisis City's good. Boss music is... It's fine, I guess. Eggman's theme. What a downgrade. I'm sorry. Apparently, they thought that song is so good. It's Eggman's modern theme, I think. They're still using it to this day. Not a good idea. I really don't like that theme. Right? Oh, I really don't. Shadow the Hedgehog actually had a remix of Eggman, actually, and that was another good one. Otherwise, yeah. There are a few not so good stuff, but A tier is still pretty good for Sonic 06. And here's another Sonic 06, the Sonic 06 that was supposed to be on Wii. Secret Rings' soundtrack is... It's something. It's not bad, but I would definitely say it's pretty repetitive. Yeah, it's just repetitive. Seven Rings in Hand is just... It's just kind of another one of those songs that just melts into your brain for all the wrong reasons, because you hear that song over and over and over and over and over again. It's just obnoxious. Same with Dinosaur... What was it? Dinosaur Island? It was Dinosaur Island, right? I don't know. I don't really care. And then Pirate Storm's okay. Skeleton Dome's actually a really nice song as well. It's Night Palace. Levitated Ruin is probably my favorite out of all of them. That is a really good song. The only instrumental in the game, if you don't count like the prologue, but yeah, it's not bad. It's not particularly amazing either. So just put it in there, I guess. Sonic Rush Adventure is like Sonic Rush, not as good though. Okay, level design's probably better if you're just talking about the stages and all. The soundtrack's not that great though. Yeah, there's not really a lot I can think about when it comes to Rush Adventure. It's got a lot of good stuff, but it doesn't have a lot. It doesn't have like the just doesn't have the oomph that the original Rush had. So yeah, it's just a weaker Sonic Rush in my opinion. I really don't remember a lot about Rivals or Rivals 2. They're just actually Rivals 2 goes one step further because Racing Wind really good, and I think the rest of the soundtrack is generally better, but yeah, no, Rivals is kind of the most forgettable game in the entire Sonic Pantheon. So Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, very similar to Sonic Riders, it doesn't have like a very memorable soundtrack, but there's one thing that this game has over that. It's Ungravitify. One of the best theme songs in the entire franchise. I would put money on that. I love that song so much. Because of that, B tier, just for Ungravitify alone. Okay, so Sonic Unleashed is a weird beast right here. Great soundtrack. A really great soundtrack. I don't really know a lot of tracks that I don't care for, except for a couple of instances. There are a couple of day themes that I don't care for, and some of the night stuff is... It's okay. It's just not phenomenal. That being said, Unleashed has some of the most iconic songs, I would say, in the entire series. Like Rooftop Run's great. Cool Edge is great. Shannon. Dragon Road. Dragon Road is just brilliant. Love that. And on the night side, like Shamar Night and Shannon Night, those are just really, really jazzy, the really jazzy stuff. Like I really love that part of the soundtrack. The one thing I don't really care about when it comes to the night music, however, is whenever you get into a battle and the music comes in and it's all like da 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 da. Hate that song, I really do. I really hate that song. It's just absolutely irritating. And yeah. I wouldn't say it would be S tier if it wasn't for that song, but yeah, it's yeah. One rank down. Yeah, that song's just absolutely irritating. Just downright irritating. But speaking of irritating, Sonic and the Black Knights is probably my least favorite Sonic Team developed Sonic game. I really dislike it. I definitely dislike it more than yeah, I'd probably say I dislike it more than Secret Rings. Probably not more than Shadow. But this game is just does not have anything going for it except the soundtrack. How did they just go this hard on the freaking soundtrack? This game is not good. I really dislike this. I really dislike this game. But the soundtrack is some of the best in the entire series. I don't know. Like, you have Sonic 06 right here. Sonic 06 right here. Not a great game, but the soundtrack is fantastic, and the same thing goes with Sonic and the Black Knight. But the thing is, I think it's a better soundtrack than Sonic 06. It's really, 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 really damn good. I really love this soundtrack. Like, the instrumental stuff, like, it's really, really great. Celtic, you have the Celtic music, and it's just really, really damn good. Jun Sonoe comes back for this. He was been absent since, I think it was Sonic Heroes, if I remember correctly. And yeah, Jun Sonoe coming back. It's just really good. And speaking of him, Crush 40 also comes back with some of their best music. Like Night in the Wind's great. Night and Through the Fire, Like the Night, and their best song, Live Life. Live Life is generally the most beautiful song, and it is unironically just a brilliant song. Really, really damn good. Why did this game have such a phenomenal soundtrack? Like, okay. Wow. I never thought I would put that much passion into Sonic and the Black Knight of all games. Okay, so this is weird. So Sega All-Stars and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed. I don't know why they're here on this list. Like, both of them have like good music. I'm just gonna put them in C tier. But I honestly don't get it. They're not really like, they're not Sonic games. They're just they're crossover games. So I don't think I would think they would be in this. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Might as well just get the Mario and Sonic stuff out of the way, I guess. It's similar deal. Like first game doesn't really have a lot of great stuff. I don't remember a lot of stuff in like Sochi Winter Olympics either. And yeah, same with Rio. I would say I would say that. Winter and London, though. The remix they have for these games are like some of the best. And I would say like the original music for both is like super good. Like I would say so good, 2 tiers above the rest. Like it's really damn good. I don't did they? No, there's no there's no 2020 Olympics, but yeah, no, Olympics, Winter Olympics in London have phenomenal soundtracks, both original and remixed. It's really good stuff, I would say. So Sonic Free Riders is a terrible game. Borderline unplayable. At the very least, it has the best soundtrack out of the entire Riders series. So I will put it in B. Okay, Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Episode 1 and 2. I guess when we're talking about composition, they're fine. They really hurt my ears, though. They're really obnoxious. I would dare say they're not great. They're kind of not great. I think they tried to make it sound Genesis-like, and they just failed. They're not bad songs, but just for quality alone, I would have to put them in E tier. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit, man. I really don't. So Sonic Colors is a very weird game. My opinion on this game fluctuates so much. I used to love this game, but over time, like, now I find it okay. Now I like it. I don't care for it all that much, but then I really like it again. It's just a weird game to like. That being said, my opinion on the soundtrack has not changed whatsoever. And it's amazing. It's like, I just love how much of a techno spin they really put into like Sonic Colors as a whole. Like, again, not a single track I can remember I don't like. Like, it's a really, really good soundtrack. Like, I remember the first time I played it as like a tropical resort. Like, that is such a strong start for the game. Not because you just get in there, get it over with, no story, just popped in there with no introduction, and it's just a really good impression, and it's all because of the look of Tropical Resort, but also the music, and it just kind of stays consistent when it comes to just everything about the sound design and the soundtrack in general. It's just really, really damn good. I wouldn't say it's like top 3, probably not even top 5, but it's just so good. It's just really, really good. Now, with all that said, you take all that with Sonic Generations and you flip them around. Every time I play Sonic Generations, it just gets better with age. It's a really, really good game. Almost no snags. It's just really good. Classic Sonic can be a little better, but otherwise, just phenomenal game right across the board. Like, my favorite 3D Sonic game, hands down. The soundtrack, however, I don't think that highly of anymore. You still have good stuff, though. Like, there's Sky Sanctuary, which is really good. Speed Highway's amazing. Both versions of Rooftop Run is like the best versions of Rooftop Run. I would probably put money on that. Like, it's such a those are really, really damn good. On the opposite side of the spectrum, though, I don't like modern version of Chemical Plant. I don't care for either version of Planet Wisp. And when we the 3DS version with Radical Highway, really bad music right there. I really don't like that. And there's not a lot of original music. That shouldn't really be a damning thing when it comes to the soundtrack, but the original music the only original music that I can really comment on is the final boss music. And it's bad. Probably the worst final boss theme in the entire franchise. I honestly believe that. It's just really, really bad. Okay, maybe not that bad. It's not good. It's just not good. And with that said, I would have to put, B is where I would be a lot more. Yeah, that's just comfortable right there. So Sonic Jump and Sonic Dash are kind of interesting. Jump has original music, but it's not memorable. It's standard mobile game fare. And with Dash, there's just not a lot of... There's a lot of remixes, but not, like, amazing... Actually, no. No, I think, for the most part, it's just rips. So yeah, I can't even say that has, like, a original soundtrack. It's just... no, we'll put it back in B, I guess. Okay, so I know a lot of people don't like Sonic Lost World. I'm a little fair on it. I still don't think it's like a phenomenal game, but I think it's like a good first attempt at a formula. But no matter what you say about the game itself, Sonic Lost World is right up there with CD Japan and Sonic Adventure as like some of my favorite soundtracks of all time. I just love Sonic Lost World soundtrack. Again, there's a lot of variety that Adventure really took upon itself, and it just took as much variety as it could, and it just made it great. Like, not a single song I don't like. I think I've done this so long that I can't really put the words into it, but no. Sonic Lost World, as divisive as that game is, soundtrack's just phenomenal. It's just really damn phenomenal. There's nothing I can say otherwise. Again, there's Sonic Japan, Sonic CD Japan, there's Sonic Adventure, and then I would say Sonic Lost World would be number 3. It's that good. It's really that damn good. Oh, this is another underrated one. Sonic Runners. I've never actually played this game. There's like a remake, re-release kind of thing, I guess, but it's not really the same. I listened to this soundtrack like a year ago for the first time. And I kind of wish they just re-released this music, because damn, this soundtrack is really damn good for a mobile game, no less. Like, what the hell? They didn't have to go so hard on the soundtrack for this, but they did. They really did. And for that, probably not amazing, but I would say I put it in A. Put it in A. It's really good. Fire and Ice's soundtrack is at least a little bit better than its predecessors. Okay, now we're getting to like the last 3 Sonic games. You have 2 that came out in 2017 and 1 that came out in 2018. You know what? Let's just get the worst out of the way. Sonic Forces. don't like Sonic Forces. I don't like a lot of its music either. The only music I really like about it is the Avatar music. I think it's the only good part of Sonic Forces. Sonic and Classic Sonic, on the other hand, no, it's not good. It's not good at all. No, Classic Sonic is just dreadful. Garbage. Absolute. I would probably put it in F tier alone. Sonic's okay. It's not memorable, but it's fine. Fist Bump and Infinite, though, are probably the worst offenders. I think those are probably the worst lyrical music in the entire series, I would say. Outside of like SA2's versions of Unknown for Me and Believe in Myself, because those are pretty bad, but those are remixes. These are original songs, and I don't like either of them. I really don't. No, we're not there. Yeah, put it in E. The Avatar stages are good, but no, I don't think they're good enough to save the soundtrack. It's just not good in my opinion. And then we have Sonic Mania and Team Sonic Racing. I wanted to say Sonic Team Racing, but no. This is interesting, because Sonic Mania is very nostalgia heavy. Because of that, there's a lot of remixes. But I think the original stuff is so good, I don't think that really matters. So with that said, I would probably put it in S tier alone. And the same kind of has to be said about Team Sonic Racing. Like, there's a lot of remixes. Like, again, this game is like nostalgia incarnate, probably even more so than Sonic Mania, because it's not just like the classic nostalgia. You have nostalgia for the Adventure series. You have nostalgia for Unleashed. Unleashed has there's a lot of Unleashed nostalgia for this game, and there's some Forces stuff in there, I guess. But the music, they really advertised the music for this game before it was coming out, and for good reason. Like, this soundtrack just, yeah, no, there's nothing to say about it. It's just really damn good music. Like, even the original stuff is so top tier. Greenlight Ride, Crush Bordy came back after like a 10-year hiatus, and Greenlight Ride, a lot of people really call it like part 2 of Live and Learn. It's a lot better than Live and Learn. Yeah, another S tier right there. I did say the S tier was getting a lot of work out, so yeah, yeah, just look at that. And that would probably be the end of it, but you also have the OVA and the Sonic movie soundtrack, and I mean, I like the OVA soundtrack from what I remember. The theme song is whack though. It's really whack. The Sonic movie soundtrack is kind of, typical live action fluff. It's just an eh. I do like the ending theme though. That one's really good. And then you have Sonic Battle just in the void on its own. Yeah, I'll give it home. And that's my tier list. That is the Sonic the Hedgehog music tier list. Like I said, the S tier got a lot of love. A lot of B rank. A lot of B ranks. I guess the B and S are just the ranks that Sonic just wants to be in. Yeah, got a lot of S's and B's. A lot of D's, actually. A lot of D's, interestingly enough. I wasn't really expecting that, but there's a lot of D's in there. As expected, there's only like 2 bad soundtracks. Well, actually, I put Shuffle in here because Shuffle's kind of weird. And now, I'll be nice to it. So yeah, only one failed soundtrack for a failed video game. So with that said, let me know what you thought about this tier list video in the comments. Tell me what you guys want to see me do next. I probably won't do another one anytime soon because these kind of drain me. these really do kind of drain me. But even so, I had a little bit of fun here. I had a little bit of fun. Need a drink break in the middle of that. Yeah. I don't know how to end these.